God's Story, Scene 1.
The Genesis.
Or, help God, we messed up already.
In the beginning, there was nothing but God. And so God spoke, and there was light. Over the course of 7 days, God created all things. The earth, animals, fish, the entire universe, and finally, a man created to be like himself.
Not bad.
But God saw that the man was lonely, and so he created a woman to be his companion.
Not bad.
Woohoo! Everything was perfect. God had provided the man and woman with everything they needed, and they were in a relationship with him, just as he had planned, until one day.
Hey, girlfriend.
Who, me?
No, the other only woman on the planet. Yes, you!
Oh, what's up?
Well, it just seems like you and that dude you hang out with have it pretty easy around here, but you never eat from that tree over there. What's up with that?
Well, God has just given us one command that we should never eat from that tree, because if we do, then we will die.
Oh, please. You won't die just from eating from a little tree. Telling me you got the run of this whole earth and you're scared to eat from that little tree?
I'm not scared. I'm not a chicken.
Well, prove it.
What?
So prove it.
Oh, hey, Eve, what's going on? Oh, I'm starving. Give me a bite of that.
They had broken the one rule that God had given, and as a result messed up a perfect relationship with a perfect God. They were banished from the Garden of Eden and had to spend their days laboring for the food that had once been provided for them. Time passed, and Adam and Eve had 2 sons. Abel was a shepherd.
Howdy!
And Cain was a farmer.
Yee-haw.
Hoo-wee! My herd is all nice and fat and healthy like, and I got just God to thank for that. I think I'll opt for up my fattest sheep. That'll be sure to please him.
You know, my crops are just great. I just love working out in the hot sun all day. Thanks, God. Guess I'll take some of my crops to God as an offering, too. What are you looking at? I'm not going to give him my best stuff.
God was pleased with Abel's sincere offering of his best sheep, but Cain, well, not so much.
What?
God said to Cain, "Why are you angry? You need to get control of this stuff before it leads you to sin."
All right, I'll work on that. Forget that noise. Hey, Abel, there's something in the field I've been meaning to show you. You know that one thing I was telling you about?
No, what thing?
Come on, it's right back in the field over
Well,
here.
tell me what you want to show me.
Way in the
What is
field.
it?
Way
What is
back
it?
here.
And so, Cain killed Abel, and the first murder had been committed. From then on, things didn't get much better. Man continued to get more and more evil and grow further and further apart from God. And that relationship with God, the relationship that God once had with his people, his very reason for creating them, was long gone. So God decided to start over. He brought a huge flood on the earth, destroying everyone in the world except one man's family, whom he shut into a boat with 2 of every animal.
And they just wish they were dead from the smell.
Noah's family was saved from the flood, and they got busy repopulating the earth. Scene 2, the promise. Time passed, and even though that God had shown with the flood that he meant business, most people ignored him and continued to sin. But a few people really tried to follow him. One such person was a man named Abraham.
Abraham.
What? Who's there? Who's speaking to me?
It's me, God.
Why, God? God speaking to me? But what have I done to deserve this honor?
You have obeyed me, and so I make a promise to you. I will give you more descendants than the stars in the sky. I will make a nation of people out of you, and they will be my people.
Oh, God, that is wonderful. But there's only one problem. What am I going to do with all these people? I mean, I only have a 1-bedroom apartment, and I don't know.
I will give you a land of your own. I will show you a wonderful land that will be for your descendants. It will be a wonderful land. It will be flowing with milk and honey.
Oh,
so it would be a while before it actually happened. Time passed, and Abraham and Sarah gave birth to a son. God came to Abraham and asked him to sacrifice his son Isaac to him as a test. Abraham was just about to go through with it when an angel stopped him.
Abraham, stop! You don't have to go through with it. God was just testing your obedience to him. You passed.
Don't do that to me.
More time passed, and Isaac had 2 sons of his own, Jacob and Esau. Eventually, Jacob had 12 sons of his own, one of whom was named Joseph. Now, the story of Joseph and his brothers is well known, so we can kind of fast forward through this part. Jacob loved Joseph the most and gave him a special colored coat. The brothers hated Joseph and sold him into slavery. Joseph worked for a guy named Potiphar, but got thrown into prison when Potiphar's wife hit on him. Pharaoh was disturbed by some weird dreams and heard of a guy in prison who could interpret dreams. Joseph told Pharaoh that his dreams meant there was a famine coming throughout Egypt, and in 7 years there would be no food. Pharaoh put Joseph in charge of Egypt, and Joseph stockpiled food for the time of the famine, saving Egypt. Joseph's whole family joined Joseph in Egypt during the time of the famine. Years passed, and Joseph's family got larger and larger. This is where God's promise to Abraham began to come true. Eventually Joseph died, but his family kept getting larger and larger. A new Pharaoh came into power who didn't remember Joseph or like the fact that all those Israelites were in Egypt. He enslaved them all, but they just kept on multiplying until there were about 2 million of them. The Pharaoh decided to put an end to the Israelites once and for all. He decreed that any Hebrew boys born during this time would be put to death. It was at this time that Moses was born. Scene 3, the Exodus. Or, enter Moses, Exodus. Get in. Anyway, it was at this time that Moses was born. It was at this time that Moses was born.
Oh, yeah. Right there.
It was at this time that Moses was born.
I am Moses. Okay, here's the deal. I grew up a prince. I killed a man sort of on purpose, accidentally, and out of fear I ran to Midian. So
Welcome to Midian, land of mystery and adventure, and home of the finest produce this side of the Red Sea, sir.
No thanks.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in Midian. I become a shepherd. I get married, and God speaks to me from a burning bush. He tells me to return to Egypt to release the Israelites from slavery.
Moses, you must be joking.
So here I am.
I will never release your people.
Tough luck, Pharaoh. God will bring his power against you.
And to make a long story short,
Too late.
he did.
Let the plagues begin. Blood in the Nile.
Frogs, ribbit, ribbit.
Flies! Ooh!
Gnats! Oh, gnats!
Dead livestock. Woo, wish.
Boils! Ooh!
Hail!
Locusts.
Darkness.
And finally, the death of the firstborn son in Egypt.
Israelites, if we put the blood of a perfect lamb on our doorposts, God will pass over our house as his plague of death kills all the firstborn sons.
And God did.
Moses, my son is dead. Take your people and go.
430 years of slavery. Over. Quick, let's get out of Egypt before Pharaoh changes his mind. Come on, Israelites, follow me!
And everything was going great.
We're following the leader, the leader, the leader. We're following the leader.
For about the first 5 minutes.
Oh, why'd we go this way? The Red Sea's blocking our escape, and Pharaoh changed his mind, and our army's charging down on us. I wish I were back in Egypt.
I wish I never followed you.
I wish I were